I'm here with Julia.
Julia.
Hi. You are.
You know, in Romania, that you do your test with the police
Oh, really?
officer, like from...
Well, that's scary just in
And
itself.
he just
isn't
goes
it?
in and he was looking at me.
Julia has contacted me. I'm going to... Instagram?
Yeah.
Yes. So you've contacted me through Instagram. You have a driving test on...
Monday.
Monday.
And today's Saturday.
And today's Saturday. Okay. Little tip for you guys. If you're going to do a mock test, try and do it... Have you done a mock test before?
Yeah, I've been with my driving instructor.
Okay, that's good. Okay, you've done mock tests before. Okay, it's good. Always try and get your mock tests in at least a couple of weeks before your driving test, because whatever you pick up, it's a good idea to then have time to go and fix it. Tell us a little bit about you. So when I say tell us a little bit about you, tell us a little bit about your driving experience. How long have you been?
I'm just going to start with I was born in a small town in Romania, but...
Let's do it. So, driving experience.
Okay, so I went and did... In Romania, the system is a bit difficult and complicated, because like you have to go into a driving school, you have to sign up, and then you have to go through a psychological test, you have to go through
And you passed that, did you?
Yeah, surprisingly. Surprise! And then you have to go through a medical.
I wouldn't pass that, I don't think.
I
A medical?
think,
What the hell?
Like to make sure that
Seriously?
your hearing is okay, your sight is okay.
Oh, they really do check
Or
everything.
you could just also, like, pay some extra money to your driving instructor and say that you're good with all of those.
Oh, so you don't have to?
Yeah, so
Did
basically...
Did you pay or did you?
I'm not going to answer that. Do you have to go to your GP to check your hearing and sight? I can't remember. It was such a long time ago.
I mean, it is a legal requirement here in the UK that you have to be fit to drive, right? So
Yeah,
if you have a medical condition, you are legally bound to tell the DVLA.
So I went to the exam, and I think my exam lasted about 5 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just pretty much changing lanes, and then they put a brake, and they were like, "Oh, you're wrong." And I'm like, "Why? There's literally no car." The problem in Romania, they don't let you continue as opposed to the UK. Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's something to do with if you're not fit to drive, then you'd be a danger.
A test can also be abandoned in the UK. So if they think it's dangerous for whatever reason, they can abandon the test. So 12 hours in Romania. How many hours of driving have you done here in the UK?
50.
50. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a little warm up. We're going to drive up to Mill Hill area, so you can have a little warm up, and then we'll start the test from there. Oh, I forgot to do this earlier actually. If you want to do a mock test on my channel, hit me up on Instagram or send me a message or DM on Instagram, and then we can talk about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, hit the like button. Pushes the video out to other people, and people are like, yeah, this is great. So yes, like, comment, and subscribe, because it really does this channel. I'll put that in earlier. I've just done it now. So we see next. We'll be starting the test.
A few moments later.
All times, I like to follow the road ahead unless I tell you to turn left or turn right, or unless road signs indicate otherwise.
Yeah.
If I need you to turn, I'll tell you in good time.
Yeah.
You're going to take in one reversing maneuver, possibly an emergency stop, and you're going to be following the sat-nav for about 15-20 minutes, and I'm going to be asking you some show-me-tell-me questions. In fact, I'm going to ask you a tell-me question straight away. Tell me how you would check that your directional indicators were working.
I would press this button and go around the car.
Boom! Look at that. We're going to start off on sat-nav. How do you feel about driving on sat-nav?
Yeah, good.
Whenever you're ready, drive on.
It takes Julia a little while to move off, but it's not her fault, it's just incredibly busy. But then she sees me writing and...
I haven't done anything wrong yet.
Oh, this is also for your benefit as well. Ignore what I'm doing. Okay, number one, I make notes.
Yeah.
2, you should ignore the examiner anyway.
I hope that's cleared that all up, but it is very important that you focus on what you're doing and not what the examiner is doing. Stay focused, especially at the start. The first 5 minutes of a driving test is probably the most stressful. You have adrenaline coursing through your veins, and it's very easy for things to go wrong. Julia already has a few tricky situations to deal with this van parked right next to a crossroads, but she deals with it well, keeping her speed down and doing the correct observations. She's now entering a 20 zone and again keeps her speed moderated, but this is a good teaching point. When you see two signs opposite each other, this indicates a change of speed limit, and you should always look for change of speed limit when turning into and out of junctions. But from time to time, you will find them as you're driving down the road. Make sure you keep your eyes peeled on the lookout for signs, and if signs is a problem, practice this with your driving instructors. So far, Julia has managed her space and speed well, but she's about to be tested. She's approaching a bus, well, one bus at the moment, but doesn't realise there are actually two, and it almost feels like she's just trying to jump in. On the flip side, I actually applaud this positioning because it gives her a great view, and she can now, if the opportunity arises, make her move. But she's got this parked car on the right hand side which is bottlenecking the road. This is a potential banana skin. The bus in front can't move off because of the other bus, so she now takes her move. This all works out in Julia's favour, but it had the potential to go wrong. Dive in when there's a car coming, and that's a serious or a dangerous. Move off and around as the bus goes to move off, and you've got yourself a serious. Don't move round when you've got vehicles behind, and now you're not making progress. Julia ultimately deals with this well, but just be careful, do not just jump in. Julia again deals with the space well, keeping her speed down as this oncoming car takes up a lot of room. She does well here. This again is demonstrating a good understanding of risk in space. Julia now highlights the same problem that she demonstrated with the bus, but this time she's approaching another bottleneck situation, but again it feels like she's going to dive in. Her approach speed is just a little bit too fast, and with nowhere to go she should be holding back sooner. I do like her positive approach, but it just feels a little bit aggressive. So this is a driver fault for awareness and planning. Being this close to the parked car makes it tricky to move off, so she feels the need to signal, again highlighting that she moved into this positioning too quickly. If this is a problem that you're having, look further up the road and reduce your speed earlier. Jumping into meeting situations could easily go against you. Be careful. Sometimes not everything goes to plan. When we're approaching a sticky situation up ahead, I choose to put my pen in my hat. But when I try to take my pen out, the pen top remains. The battle between pen top, tight hat and fat fingers goes on for a little while, but eventually I win. But it is on camera. Not everything goes to plan.
Got my pen top stuck in my hat.
At the end of the road, turn left, A5, then take Broadway, then turn right.
Do you know where you're going?
How is that right? That's left. I'll just take there.
So you're going to be turning left and then immediately right. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is Julia's first serious mistake. The sat-nav has told her to turn left and then immediately right, which I then clarified, but she stays in the right turn only position.
Turn left, A5, then take Broadway, then turn right.
It's from this moment onwards that the test starts to unravel. She knows she's in the wrong lane and she says left, but she signals right. If Julia turns right here, it's not a problem. But she's starting to get nervous and she's still assessing the left lane to see whether she can get across. Julia has now made her decision and she's signalled left and she intends to turn left. But the problem is, the left traffic light has gone red and her right turn traffic light has gone green and she's not moving. Behind her, everybody is still turning left, so she's not put under pressure by any vehicles behind, but by trying to turn left, she's going to have to filter into this traffic. I've said this on numerous occasions. If you go the wrong way on your driving test, it would not even be marked as a fault provided you do it safely. But try to go the right way and interfere with traffic is a serious fault. And she's already got 1 for not having responded to these traffic lights. I know she's going to do it, so I look at the driver, wave, and he lets her in.
And then you're going to turn right here, yeah?
However, this is now a serious fault for turning left.
Turn right, stab lane.
We had spoken about just such a situation before this test started, and she had confirmed to me that she understood that if she's in the wrong lane, she can go the wrong way. But it just goes to show when you're under pressure how easy it is to make the wrong decision. So I'm telling you now, if you find yourself in the wrong lane, go the wrong way. Julia again deals with this next tight situation very well. It highlights that she only really has a problem when there's only space for 1 car. You could argue that she didn't need to push through and she could have held back, but she manages her speed and space very well. The first warning sign that Julia must be flustered is that she signals for this bend. It has no impact on anyone behind us, so this is not a problem at all. But it is a warning sign that her mind is not on what she's doing. And then at this next junction, she doesn't anticipate that the lights could change, hitting the brake very hard.
Turn right.
Fortunately, the car behind is a safe distance back.
You okay? It's okay. It's all right.
I was going to go over the line if not.
No, it's fine. Don't worry. Listen, take a breath. Relax. Don't worry about the past. Think about what you're doing. Have a look at where you're going. Just take a breath. Okay? Everything's fine. This is a learning experience and you will get something from this today.
Yeah.
Okay? That's how you need to treat this. Okay?
On your driving test, when you make a mistake, of which the chances are that you are going to make a mistake, you must not linger on it. You must let it go. Now I know that's easier said than done, but the more you're thinking about what's just happened, the less you're thinking about what's going to happen, and you will start to lose control. Let it go. As Julia pulls up here, she just forgets to put the handbrake on,
Thank you very much.
and the car rolls backwards.
Drive on when you're ready.
She controls it, but this is definitely a driving fault. As she goes to move off here though, she does good all-round observation and keeps good control of the car.
When it's safe to do so, if you can open a side window for me, please. When it's safe to do so.
Julia does well here. She takes her time dealing with the oncoming car and the parked cars before she goes to open the side window.
That's it. Thank you very much.
And that's exactly how you should do it. Julia is now
Cross the
signalling
roundabout
left,
and take the second exit, Beverly Drive.
but the sat-nav has asked her to follow the road ahead to the second exit. She does cancel it before it causes any problems to the van behind. There are also no vehicles approaching from the first exit, so it's not a serious problem, but she doesn't check her mirrors as she signals left here. But again, as she exits the roundabout, she demonstrates a good understanding of space, not rushing into the traffic. This she does very well.
After 80 yards, cross the roundabout and take the second exit, Beverly Drive.
When following the road ahead at a roundabout, you don't signal until you signal left once you've gone past the exit, the one before the one you need. But Julia signaled right. This has no impact on anybody because there's nobody there, but it's just the wrong signal. So this is a driver fault for the correct signal. Again, Julia's use of speed and managing the space is exactly how it should be. She's not flustered with dealing with tight situations. Another good example. At this roundabout, she's turning left first exit. Her signal's a bit late, but it has no impact, and it's not noteworthy. On the next roundabout, Julia has no such problems and deals with it well.
Cross the roundabout and take the second exit, Cumberland Road. Then, at the end of the road, turn right.
Her left wing mirror check is almost simultaneous with signal, but in this case I'm going to put that as not noteworthy. 3 major problems now occur at this next junction. Number 1, she doesn't anticipate the lights could change and brakes quite harshly, affecting the vehicle behind.
Turn right, A4140, Honeypot Lane.
It's not her fault that the white car was so close, but if she'd anticipated the lights could change, she wouldn't have braked like that. 2, she loses track of her brake and rolls backwards. She does stop the car from going into the white car behind, but this is definitely a serious fault. And 3, as she turns right here, she swings too far to the left, impacting the vehicle on her left-hand side. There are 2 possible reasons as to why this occurs. 1, she doesn't realise that both lanes are turning right, although I doubt it considering she just saw the white car do it. Or 2, she's not looking in the right place. Although there have been 3 successive serious faults here, we're going to look at this space as this is probably the most important. When your lanes disappear, all you have is the space, and it's not as if you've got to get a ruler out to judge these things to the centimetre. The vehicle on your left has to pass through this space here, so if you simply direct your car towards that traffic island, you will not interfere with them at all. Understand the space, regardless of lanes.
So I'm going right in the roundabout.
Yes. Yeah.
Julia is now turning right fourth exit on the Honeypot Lane roundabout. And on this particular route, this would be considered to be a complex roundabout. Like all large roundabouts, it's a good idea to read the signs and definitely the road markings and count your exits so that you keep track. Julia ultimately does okay here. She makes a couple of mistakes but gets
Turn
away
right
with
on
it.
the roundabout and take the 4th exit, Taunton Way.
Her lane discipline on a different day could have been serious.
Because it's a good experience.
But in London though?
It's a good experience.
She loses track of her lane discipline.
In London? I'll never drive in London my entire life.
Here
Which one is my exit?
The next one.
Can we go with it?
and here.
Sort of wing it.
She also exits from the middle lane, but doesn't impact the vehicle behind, who also does the same thing. So let's run through how she should have done this. Enter the roundabout, taking the right lane and counting the first exit, making sure you maintain good lane discipline. Then count the second exit, quickly followed by the third. It's imperative that you're counting your exits, because if you don't, it's at this point here that you should be taking the left-hand lane. However, there are no markings to say that you need to until you get here. You can change lanes on a roundabout provided you don't interfere with anybody. And in this case, Julia didn't. And that's why I just gave her a driver fault for lane discipline. If at any stage she had impacted anybody, then that would have been a serious.
It's just that I've never seen traffic like this in my life.
Well, that's the
Like honking, I think I heard honking twice where I live,
yeah.
which is in actual super serious situations. In London, it's a part of.
Julia has clearly struggled with driving in central London, and I commend her for coming to London to do this test, but she's lost concentration. In front of her, the signs are indicating that the left lane is a bus gate, so therefore we must pass through the right. And because you never know if there's going to be a camera, I take over.
I don't know which way to
No,
go.
you have to go here. Slow down, slow down, slow down.
There was a bus stop, right?
That's a bus lane.
Right.
It's for buses.
Yeah, I know, because my partner.
Now,
got
just on the
ticket.
basis there could be a camera, I've
Yeah.
intervened there to prevent you from driving through that.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So you're not used to driving like in these kind of conditions.
No.
Is it all country lanes?
Not really. I do, as a matter of fact, my instructor always says that because I start my lessons very early. I do catch the school hours.
Okay.
So naturally, there's like a lot of children running around and.
Okay. At the roundabout, turn right. Third exit. Now, one of the exits is closed, but still
Okay.
counted as an exit. Does that make
Right.
sense?
Yeah, I know. It's one of those.
So you're turning right, third exit.
Julia signals a little bit early for this junction, but again, it doesn't really have an impact on anybody, so it's not a problem. But the way she takes this roundabout highlights what I think about her driving. She's very assured and
So
confident
that's the closed one, obviously.
Yeah.
and is ultimately a good driver. Doing a mock test in London when you're not used to the conditions is very difficult, and she struggled with a few things.
I can't tell if there's 2 lanes in here. There's just only one.
But you can tell when somebody can
It's hard
drive.
driving in an area you're not familiar with as well, right? And then at the traffic lights, turn left.
Okay.
Julia does make another serious mistake though at this next set of traffic lights. She just gets caught out as they turn. The lights are green, and they're still technically green as she attempts to go through, but she just pauses, and the pause then makes it impossible for her to continue.
Oh, just stop. Because the lights turn now. It's okay. It happens.
And just to finish off the test, we're now going to do the parallel park exercise.
Okay. I think that will work. If you can just pull up just before the blue car. And just go a little bit further. In this case, don't worry too much about driveways. Just go a little bit further. We're going to do the reverse parallel park, use this car here. I like to pull up next to it and then
Yeah.
reverse the car back in, finishing off within 2 car lengths of space. Reasonably close to the curb. You treat the drop curb as a normal curb, yes?
Yeah.
But you mustn't go up it.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
You all right with that?
Yeah. I don't know how I'm doing.
Give it a go.
I'm actually good at parallel parking. Scratch that. Don't say that. Just scratch that.
You got this.
This, in all fairness, is not the best place to do the parallel park exercise, as the curb is quite tight on the right-hand side. However, Julia does well here. She starts off with good all-round observation. And even though it's incredibly tight, she's got great control. She does need a little correction, but that's not a problem. But she doesn't forget to continue her observation. At this point here, she just needs to tuck it in, but she decides to move forwards again, which again is not a major issue, but she could have just finished it off. But as before, she doesn't forget her blind spots.
It's okay.
Okay, I got this.
She does get a little confused with her steering at the end, but she does get it done.
That's it. That's it.
When she finishes, her steering is actually pointing out to the right.
I think that's it.
Okay, you done?
Yeah,
Brilliant.
I think so.
Okay, good. All right, so whenever you're ready, drive on, end of the road, turn right.
I feel like I'm so in the middle of the road though.
It's a really small road, isn't it? I've given it to you in a really nice place.
All things considered, I would have given this location a difficulty rating of at least 8 or 9 out of 10. Julia, I think you did a fantastic job. We're now one junction away from end of tests, so that's it, folks.
How do you think you did?
I think I felt like 4 times.
So, you think you felt about
yeah,
4 times?
Yeah, about that time for sure. Where else was it?
So, tell me what you think you fell for.
Like doing something dangerous, where I tried to go on the bus lane, but you had to take the wheel again. That would have been a fail. I don't know where to go.
No, you have to go here. Slow down, slow down, slow down.
There at the thingy where I didn't realize I couldn't go right, and then I had to go left. But there was cars over here, and that guy had to let me in. Definitely, that would have been a fail.
My general consensus is I think you can drive. I do think you can drive. You've made some silly mistakes. Some of that happening just because you're in the heat at the moment and you've made a decision. So let's go all the way back to the traffic light. You said, I'm in the wrong lane.
Yeah, but I couldn't turn left either.
I'll just turn right. You were in a right lane.
Yeah,
turn right.
but I couldn't turn right, could I?
Why not?
I don't know. I thought it was like I couldn't. I don't know. For some reason, I just thought I couldn't.
Well, the light went green and we just sat there the entire time.
I know.
We didn't move.
I know.
There was nobody behind us, so we didn't interfere with anybody.
Yeah.
But what should we have been doing at that moment?
To go right, but for some reason, because
So
I saw
why
that
did-
arrow, I just thought I couldn't go right for some reason. I don't
But
know.
the green arrow came on to say right.
Yeah, I should have gone right there.
Turning right. Okay, so this was when we were down by the supermarket. We were turning right at the traffic lights, but your car was drifting to the left.
Yeah.
And there was a car there, and I went like that, and then you brought the car back in. Okay, listen, I think personally, I think you can drive. I think some of this, yes, requires you driving in an area that you don't know, driving a car that you don't know, on camera. All of this stuff has an impact.
To be honest, I don't really care about the camera. It was the
In which
fact
case,
that
I'm just trying to give you these. Just trying to give you some excuses.
at least you're
This
not
has
perfect.
been, we're going to finish this off. This has been Julia's mock test. And I really hope you have got some value out of this.
Absolutely.
Would you let us know how your test goes?
Yeah.
Yeah, test on Monday. So please give us some encouragement and some love in the comments, because she's got her real test coming up on Monday. This has been Julia's mock test. I hope that you've got some value out of it. If you have, hit the like button, subscribe if you want more content, and I will see you in the next one. Get well out.